Good morning, guys. First off, I want to welcome all my new subscribers, plus all my new subscribers that are seeing me on the road with my car with the logo on the back. Thank you so much for saying hi. Appreciate it, and your support on the channel. Thanks so much. We are getting subscriber content pretty quickly. Anyway, today we're working on the beast, the truck. As you know, I'm sitting in it. For some reason, that week ago or 2 weeks ago, whatever it is, I let my friend borrow my truck and he ran out of gas, and I put gas in it and all the other stuff. Now it's not wanting to drive. It runs, but it doesn't run. It sounds like it's misfiring or like timing jump, something like that. Last Friday when I went 3 days ago to go to work, just wouldn't start, just dead. Anyway, we're gonna pop the hood open. I'm gonna check a couple things again. I'm gonna check the cap and rotor, because if you guys remember, like last time when I had the oil pump issue and the motor got destroyed, that the cap and rotor, the rotor itself was completely melted, but it was still running. Surprise, right? So we're gonna check that first and see what's going on there. We're gonna check for spark, yada yada yada. I know it's getting fuel because it starts, so, but we're gonna check pressure, see how much pressure we're getting. Maybe the secondary pressure pump is not working. But anyway, I'm gonna pop the hood and we'll go through a couple things and figure out what's going on. All right, well, guess what? We have all the ignition wires pulled off. Here's the cap. Take a look at this cap real quick. I don't know if you guys can see it, but if you look right there at that one, look at that big old hole in there. Look at it. On the rest of them, that one's got a little mark in it. That one's smooth and smooth. So that means to tell me that when I pulled that off and I saw that, let me see if I can pull this ignition rotor off here. I don't know if you guys can see it that far, but I pull this off. So this is the ignition rotor. This is supposed to have a little tab on the outside of it right here that contacts the insides of those things. But look at this. Does that look a little melted to you guys? Oh. So that means to tell me right there that researching recently, that when that happened before, somebody told me that my resistor might be shot, which is actually this thing right here off of the coil pack, which runs down the coil pack. So I'm gonna go buy a new one of these. I'm gonna replace the cap and rotor because they're under warranty, and I'm gonna put this back in. I guess it needs to be grounded out somewhere too. Also, I haven't been putting that in, so we're gonna put that to a bolt and ground it out, see what happens with that. Just hope it's just something stupid and that's it, because I'm getting kind of tired of losing this rotor cap for 2 times now. So we're gonna close this up, run down to the parts store, exchange these parts, and just yeah, get them all whatever. Anyway, yeah. All right, guys, well, we just left the parts store. You gotta talk to me. That little resistor, I guess, is not a noise resistor. It's a noise resistor for like the radios and things like that off the coil, so it doesn't have that, you know, you hear those wee whiny sounds on the radio. That's what that's for on the older models, I guess, with that. But that's not it. They're thinking my coil's bad or something, and it's putting the wrong voltage, and it's getting too hot. So gotta check the voltage on that and see what's going on when we get back to the house. So hopefully I can at least get this cap and rotor in it. Hopefully it'll start. I can get over to the garage or the shop, and we can check from there, see if it is. He's saying maybe the coil's bad and it's not working right, so we'll have to replace the coil, which sucks, but it is what it is. So let's get back to the shop and get this stuff going, or back to the truck and get this going. So we are back at the garage. We're actually back where the truck is, so I can't get moved. So what we're gonna do now is I've taken the plug out from the ignition coil. They told me that the ignition coil is bad. Well, we're gonna find out anyway. If it is, I'll pull it out and we'll just go get another one if it is. But what I'm gonna do is, they told me that this is supposed to get 8 volts off this stupid little plug that's right here. So I took it out, unclipped it, and took it out just to make sure I got contact. And I'm gonna check it, make sure we got 8 volts. If not, we gotta get a load resistor, I guess, or something like that, to drop the voltage down to about 8 volts. So we're gonna check that and see how things are. Well, I didn't film anything because I was just upset and like, you know, didn't want to film anything. But anyway, check the voltage. It's getting like 8.5 to 10 volts, which is strange, you know, on that coil. So I'm thinking the coil's probably dead, but we'll see. Everything's back together. I got the ignition cap rotor back on, coil cap back. I put the coil off, checked it out for ohms resistance, and the ohms are where they're supposed to say according to the forms. I may just end up just replacing the coil altogether just to see what happens. And then I got all the wires back together, all the spark plugs back together. We're gonna check a couple things here before I fire up and see what happens. So I'm crossing my fingers that it runs. If the cap and rotor decide to melt, or the rotor melts again, then there's gotta be something else going on. Then we'll have to get like a inline resistor for like 8 volts or whatever it is, or whatever they said I think that part was. But anyway, we're gonna do that. We're gonna clean this up because I got tools all over the place, sort of, and see what fire. Everybody, the moment has come. I'm gonna climb in here and check this out. So ignition on and start. Seems to run just fine, but I guess we'll see in time till I'm gonna go run around for a little bit, go drive it around, see what's going on. Get back to you as soon as we know something else. If something goes wrong while we're driving, I guess we'll get it on film, huh? Alright guys, well, before we take the truck out, we need to run over to the shop here real quick. We gotta do an oil change because I'm still running that braking oil after we got the Murray belt, and it is broken in since then. So we gotta change the oil real quick. I've got the oil sitting here, the filter. We're also gonna put the wipers on that I got, and we're gonna clean the windshield and all that because it is just dirty. You can't see anything out of the window. We're gonna do that real quick and then fill it back up with oil, and we'll be on our way doing some other things. Just gonna take a little ride, see if that issue persists. Oil is drained. It is blacker than dirty as this is still the brake-in oil, as you can tell. Look at that, you can see it down there. But I haven't had a lot of time to change anything, but it just barely met the mark of the new brake-in. So now gotta change the filter, change out the oil, put fresh stuff in, drive it for another 500 miles I think it was, change that oil, and then we can drive it relatively back and forth where it's sitting at. But in that, we're doing that right now. We'll walk you through everything else here in a second. Okay, so here's another thing I'll update. So when we put in an empty filter, this is the new one, it's empty. I always make sure I fill this up before I put it on the truck, because dry oil filters, the pump has to pump the oil from the tank or the oil pan to the filter and fill the filter and then pump it to the rest of stuff. We're not going to do that. What we basically do is I fill this up at least 3/4 full to almost full, so when we fire it up it actually doesn't have a dry fire, and you know, the oil's actually ready to go. So we're just going to do this. Oh, we got to turn this fan off. That thing is blowing all over the place. That's not good. So well, should I get this oil in here? Do it the old way like this. Will we make a mess? Yeah, we're gonna make a mess. I'm gonna get a small one. Well, we're all done with the oil change. I got new wipers on. The windshield's clean to a point. I still need to go over a few more with a different type of cleaner. I just use water at the moment, but anyway, I get a windshield wiper fluid. Alright, we're all done. I've disconnected the ignition so it won't fire. What we're gonna do is, after we change the oil, because I know we filled the oil filter, I want to see pressure on the oil gauge first before I actually plug in the ignition and fire it up. So here we go. We're gonna want like 20, maybe 30 psi. I'll give it a couple seconds. There she goes. So make sure we got oil pressure before we do that, and then we'll plug her in and fire it up. Plug this back in. Turn the ignition, and she should fire up. Yeah, perfect. We got perfect oil pressure. Look at 50 psi. We're good. Let's go take it for a ride. Woo! Alright guys, you know what else is really good too? Stop by your local 7-Eleven. Picking up your Slurpees. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, it's good stuff, especially when it's hot outside. But anyway, we've been driving around for a little bit. Everything seems to be going good. Nothing's wrong. It's getting a little warm on temperature, but I think that's due to probably having low coolant, and maybe the fan not kicking on. I don't know. I haven't looked into it, but we all know it doesn't overheat. Not high. It's like 3/4 mark. It's about just a little over 200 degrees, so it's not too bad. But yeah, it's going good. I just think the cooling fan's not turning on, so we'll probably have to readjust that thermostat down a little bit just so it kicks on earlier. Haven't gone on the freeway yet. We're just kind of driving around town. Last, I don't know, half hour, 45 minutes, give or take. Nothing's wrong. So we're gonna make a stop over at the store, pick up a couple things. I'm gonna go home, come back out later. We'll go for another drive a little later and see if it acts up again. If not, I think it's probably good for now. And if it burns up again on the cap and rotor, I guess we'll replace it and try troubleshooting that. That's the only issue I have right now. It's just that. So, and then hopefully next weekend we'll actually start working on this interior, getting it cleaned up and everything else, so we can get this looking at least a little better. But other than that, we'll get back as soon as we can with everything. Well, everybody, I'm gonna call it for the night. I've been doing some research. We have been driving the truck around a little bit, and it seems to be doing okay. But from doing the research last little bit for the last couple hours, that I do need to get that resistor because the coil is getting 12 volts, which it should be between like 6 and 9. So I need to get that resistor, which I just ordered online, and it'll be there in about a week or so. But that's about it. That's the only thing that's really probably wrong with it. So we'll order that and put that in. Piece of cake. Something's going on with the wiring system. I don't want to track it down, so that's an easier way. It's $13. Yeah, little part that we missed or something. Not a big deal. And I'll put that in. Hopefully she'll run like a champ. But anyway, if you guys like that video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to subscribe for more, subscribe for more, and write us a comment, leave us a comment, and let's keep growing, man. Thank you to all my new subscribers, and let's keep this channel going.